Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to be doing a sort of a rough Disillusion ST speedrun guide. I went ahead and I'm doing the main ending pacifist run because I'm just kind of assuming. I'm doing this because um, Fang Ka posted this on the speedrun.com Disillusion forums, and so I just want to do this really quick, even though I literally just replied like 19 minutes ago. I figured a video like this is pretty easy for me to make just like right now and might be kind of effective, so I kind of just wanted to do this and see how it goes. I apologize for the mic. The microphone, I know it sounds like ass, but it's what I got, so please bear with me. I'm just going to assume that we're going to be doing the main ending. This is what we're doing. We're doing the main ending of Pacifist Run. It's kind of the shortest. I mean, Pacifist is shorter and simpler, so I figured it's a good place to start. Though I can make a separate one for combat mode if you wanted. So I'm basically just gonna be playing this. This is the world record run. My world record run for main ending Pacifist version 1.5, and just sort of going through it and commenting whenever I need to, skipping around whenever I want to. Because like I could open the game and like walk around, but it's just kind of, it makes more sense to just do sort of a commentary on this. So I have my inputs here. This could help a bit. You might need to turn your brightness up though, because I made this a bit dark. And then of course my splits. The splits actually will be showing these are all the things that I check off during a speedrun. I use the same key to backspace these as I do for my splits. So it's doing two actions at once while I'm doing speedruns. I have this on my second monitor usually, but I'll be pulling this up and going through it. This is not the most comprehensive thing to use while speedrunning. I recommend making your own spreadsheet or just learning how to use mine, but this is just customized to work for me, just how I like it. I'm also a bit colorblind, so the colors might be kind of weird, but again, bear with me. So anyways, let's get this going. So immediately when we start off, we're doing pacifist mode, so it's the first option right here. So we'll be spamming Z and space, as well as X. X actually skips text faster, and Z and space sort of speed up the fade in during like cutscenes and scenes and stuff, like right here. See, I'm holding X to skip the text, and then spamming Z and space to hit pacifist. I guess I didn't do Z there, but and if you're doing combat mode, you could actually hold down tab. Tab buffers the input for the second option usually for dialogue options. The second option would be combat, and you just hold down tab. But anyways, that out of the way, let's get this going. So obviously, the intro, gonna be holding down space and X here. I believe you can also do C instead of X. We're starting off here. We can speed this up a bit. Sort of go through here. Obviously space or Z to interact with things. Gonna be holding space and X to get through this. I'm not gonna do this for every scene, like say what to hold down. That might just be something you need to feel out on your own and see what works for you. And of course, I'm spamming on the door, spamming X and space. That's a common thing I do. Get through here. You can hold down tab right here to hit that option. It doesn't matter if you press yes or no on this dialog box, but tab buffers the input. So again, X and space. I should also mention that I have my keys remapped, so I'm using WASD and space with my left hand, and then I have my right hand doing like numpad. I have space, CX, attack, and tab, and Z, all mapped to my numpad. So both my hands are on the keyboard. And here you could go through a painting. I do it in other runs, but I just choose the door on this run because I'm kind of gambling. You know, you're gambling if you're going to get a good map or not. This is not a good map, but luckily I got a good Jomon here. You need to see this cutscene. So let's see, Jomon is right here, so we're going to backspace that. For this quest line here, this is going to be the gray face doors to see Mel sleeping, and then there's 3 Mel nightmares, and then Mel sleeping again. And then we get to the spyglass. This is that one like chess piece character that has a spyglass. Her name is Chaturanga, I believe. And you can only get so far into her quest line. We'll just put that how that actually is. That's the froggy cutscene. You can only get so far until you need to see the Kaibyo and Jomon quest line. You need to like get through these. So then you can continue doing spyglass. We'll get there. But yeah, so Jomon is important. It's hard to find him actually. He's sort of a rare spawn. This map sucks. It does. So I'm just like, let's try to get out of here quick. Look around a little bit. I like this map for the vibe, and the spawns aren't too bad either. I did this run in October of 2025, so it's been several months by now. Or it's been a few months. Rusted doors are important because we need to get the rusted key is the rusted door that we need for the main ending. For other endings, we need other rusted doors, but for main ending, it's just for this quest line right here. You could also like put that actually. This is the actual NPC's name that we're trying to find here. But yeah, so we're in here. You know, check some spawns. Don't see anything good, so we're gonna check this last spawn up ahead. Nothing there, so we go into the rusted door to get the rusted key. Pet Yuria for good luck. Again, my mic, I know my mic sounds like ass, but please bear with me. I don't really want to be in this map because it's not the best map, and it just sucks to look at, so I'm like, there's like a 50-50 chance that this guy teleports you out. On combat mode, he gives you a potion. But so I won that gamble, and we're out of there. Hopefully to a better map. This map isn't too bad. It's actually a decent map for spawns. Okay, nothing useful here. Anemia is useful on all endings, good ending. And I didn't see any spawns here, so we went ahead and pressed F5 to reset the map and try again. Just reset the spawns. Because again, this map isn't too bad. It has a decent amount of spawns, sort of all condensed. Pressing F5 and resetting on a map is something that you'll see me do often if we're on a good map. So this is a purple face door. There was also Visine here. Okay, I chose Visine. The purple face door we need for... Where is it? We need the purple face door for the Umbrella Girl, which is right here, Bucket Girl. On On main ending, she's not as useful, but on other endings, she's very useful. Yeah, so that purple face door, I believe there's like a 1 in 3 chance that it's the right door. In which case, we'll get the umbrella, and then we can talk to the sun to get the sun. Having the umbrella, you also need the umbrella for Taidana's questline for this cutscene here. But we went ahead and chose Visine. And what did I do here? I went ahead and chose the first option, which is Gomi. Gomi is pretty useful for main ending. This is the quest line here. We need Gomi, and then we also talk to Visine. We'll need Gomi to get the PC so that we can give to the virus. And then once we have finished this is a really important quest line, because with this quest line finished, then we can continue talking to Visine and then access Kaibyo. We'll just call him the cat. I like to call him the cat. And then you can actually access Jomon as well, and Ori and Chio, and Useless, and Esme Mary. Otherwise, before completing this quest line, essentially the only people you can see are Taidana, Himiko, and Dementia, and Gomi. We can't get the other ones like I mentioned yet. So completing this quest line is very important here. And you see we need Subway Sigs. We really need the Jester. Jester is like one of the most important NPCs in the game for speedruns. Jester is super important. Also, Cherub Orb is pretty important too, but we'll get there. So yeah, we talked to Gomi. Moving on from there. What kind of door is this? So this is a purple face door. We unfortunately got. This is like the worst thing you could get with the purple face door is this cutscene. You can press tab and buffer the first option, then spam for the rest ones. This cutscene will come into play later. That's the wine vessel cutscene. This map is actually pretty useful for combat mode, because inside of there, inside here is one chest. This door right here, or this there's like a boulder, right? You need the hand drill. Once you get the hand drill, you can actually interact with that and like break down the wall. And then you can get the Zweihander, the really overpowered sword in the game. So this is the Charmer. Very, very important for speedruns. Possibly the most important NPC. Actually, no, it's probably Jester, but... Oh, speak of the devil. So, again, let's look at the spreadsheet. Where are we? We just got the Cherub Orb. Very important to teleport around with. And then we just got the Jester, which is completely random as well. When we get the Jester, now we can go to the subway. And there's 3 separate times we need to go to the subway. So, pretty important stuff here. This map is, it's pretty mid. It's not really good. Another purple face door. Let's take it. Let's try it. So this is the second option you can get with a purple face door. The first one was the wine vessel. This is the second one. This is a pretty good one. It takes you to the Mel's Grey Chamber. You know, not bad. But we would have preferred to get the Bucket Girl umbrella. And I decided to take the subway here, because I don't have any subway warp orbs, and this is pretty important to get done. We're holding tab through these. By getting this answer correct, you actually get a point of karma. So we can jot that off as well. We're at the subway, and we just got a point of karma. You need positive karma in order to talk to Himiko. And this is a good, easy way of getting karma. I believe you get 2 points of karma there, actually. But yeah, so just get through this dialogue. And you can hold down tab right here to buffer that dialogue, and then you pick the last dialogue option right here. This is actually a pretty good map. Interestingly, there's no footstep sound. And yeah, Dementia, pretty good option there. You know, talk to him. Again, this map, not bad. There's like a 50% chance that this girl will let you go to the angelic room. This was not one of those times. You get stuck in dialogue, and it's a waste of time. But it's still worth talking to her every time. Okay, so Sal. Sal is very, very important on pacifist mode specifically. Every time you talk to Sal, he gives you 5 flower warp orbs. On combat mode, he only gives you them the first time you talk to him. But on pacifist, you can just keep talking to him, keep racking them up. And with the flower warp orbs, you can access a lot of useful NPCs. Like most of the NPCs in the game, or most of the NPCs for speedruns, you can get through Mel's Great Chamber. So the second time you talk to Visine is actually different. There's less dialogue there, and the options for who you can teleport to are different. This time you get Paper, Performer, Brave Warrior. Those are all different. I believe we go with Paper here. That's Ori, of course. Honestly, you could have done Paper or Performer. They both have the same amount of interactions. Honestly, Performer is arguably better because these are all cutscenes, whereas these 3 are just dialogue, and you don't get warped anywhere. But we went ahead and chose Ori because the first time you talk to Ori, she actually takes you to the Great Chamber, which is pretty good early game if you don't have that many warp orbs. We only have the 5 warp orbs that we got from Sal, so it's generally pretty good to just go with Paper for the first time. You can press tab on the first dialogue option, then press space on the second one, and then you can tab this one as well, the third one, and then just skip through this. And as you can see, we will be taken back to the Great Chamber. Now, one thing I should note is I believe both of these doors, so both these doors will have cutscenes with Mel, and I believe in both of them are opportunities to get karma, the point of karma we needed to talk to Himiko. So if you really need karma for whatever reason, or if you messed up and got negative karma, these are good options to get your karma back up. And we're going back to the subway in order to talk to the rat and get cigarettes. First we go to jail. And of course, we'll get the cigarettes from Froggy here. You just spam through that, and we're done with that. It's actually really important to get the cigarettes because Yakui is completely RNG. So, and you can't get this apartment key until you have the cigarettes. So, that's a really important interaction. Go into the subway, getting the cigarettes. That map sucks. so we're getting out of there ASAP. And when I say sucks, I mean it's cool aesthetically, but it's not good for speedruns. And here we're going here. We're going to be going to this door. This is the Visine room. Something I will note that I didn't actually know during this speedrun. I found this out later. This room right here, you know, this room, there's 3 spawns. There's one, there's another one right here, and there's this guy. There's a spawn right here. Usually there's going to be a door and 2 NPCs, but either way, there is a high chance that, or there's a decent chance that you'll get Sal, Anemia Alonia, Esme, Mary, or Konpi Uta, the virus girl. For whatever reason, this map just has really strange spawning, and a lot of NPCs don't even spawn in here. But those tend to, so you might see... I don't think... I didn't do it in this run, but like in other speedruns, I definitely sit there and F5, 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 and try to get those spawns going. So we're just going to skip through this. And now we've activated this quest line, or this, so now Virus will start spawning. We can talk to Virus once, but we can't talk to her really again until we have the PC. So we gotta get Yakui, then talk to Gomi, and so on and so forth. This map is decent. It's actually a decent map. This one we were hoping to get... We were hoping to talk to the Iron Maiden, but it didn't happen. But, I mean, we can literally just talk to him right here. The Iron Maiden door. And we can skip through this. Just speed that up for a minute. And then we're going to be clicking the last dialogue option. Again, obviously, you won't be doing all of this in the exact order that I am doing it, but I feel like as long as you watch this video and try to remember some of the things that I'm saying here, I think this video can help. I think it'll be able to help. This map is not really that good, so let's get out of there. This is a good map. And we got lucky. That was a 50% chance that Viator here will take us to the Mirror Man. And also, if he is the right version of him, he'll be emitting light. He'll have a light source on him. This map is kind of, I think, has decent lighting already, so you can't really see it. But in dark maps, if he's glowing, that's like the right version. And of course, there's only one scene for this this quest line, so that's the end of that quest line. Obviously, talk to him on the left, and then talk to Mel. For here, you can actually, I believe you can lose karma. I think you can lose karma or like lose like some value. It's not that important, I think, but it's still useful to hold down tab. I just pointed out my screen instead of using the mouse, but hold down tab so that you hit the second option, and then you can hit the second option here as well, and no values change, and we're good. So buffer those inputs, and then the second one right here, or this third option, you'll be just spamming Z or space, or both, and we get the mirror, and we're good to go. Again, sorry about this video. I am like just trying to get through this and explain everything I can. I just don't want to do a whole lot of editing. So the internet map, this one, there's like 2 ways this can go. Sometimes there's like more to this map over here. Other times there's just this wall, and it's like a really bad map. So it's the really bad one, and we're just gonna get out of there. Okay, so here is something that I probably maybe wouldn't have done if I knew the strat with that other room. You know, obviously to the right here, if you go down that hallway, you can go to the Visine room again. And then we have potential to find Sal or Esme Mary, or just talk to Visine. Going through here isn't a bad option though, because this map has a lot of spawns, and it has the same door every time. So we got lucky here. We got Kaibyo. He's really good to get. I mean, he's just really important in general. But because we're doing 2 for 1 now, we're knocking out 2 things in one map. You know, ooh, there's the virus too. So on the right, we could have, if virus wasn't there, then we would have done this door right here. But since she was there, we're like, oh, let's talk to her instead. And then we got Kaibyo as well. So pretty good. That one you just spam through and got that out of the way. This map is not very good. Let's just use one of our orbs. City orb is pretty decent. This map has decent spawns. It's not bad. It's a little laggy on my computer. It's kind of another thing with this game is like a lot of it depends on your PC. So we didn't see anything good there, so we're pressing F5 and trying again. Depending on how good your PC is, you will lag more or less than me. And we see someone here that we need. See, there we go. We're getting 5 more flower warp orbs. This is a pretty good run, by the way. Like, the time that I get is, like, really pretty nice. To the point where I don't think I'm going to be able to beat it for a long time, if ever. So there we talked to Taidana. That was pretty lucky. Talk to Taidana and then warp back. I think we're probably going to go through the blue door again. Or rather, go to the blue map. I don't know what to call this. I just call it like Big Blue sometimes. It's more like Little Blue, but I'm like, wait a minute. This door right here, there is no shadow. So that means that it's potentially the true angel door, which is completely RNG. So let's see if we get it. Yep. So this was like a 50-50 chance. Maybe like a 1 in 3 chance. But either way, yeah, pretty good find there. And we can just skip through all this dialogue, just hit the first option on all of it. Of course, holding space to get the fade going faster, the fade in and fade out, and X to skip text faster. This map's okay. Not the best. Not the worst. But certainly try to get out of here ASAP. Ghost Girl, we're gonna get a free flower warp orb. Always take those. Well, most of the time. And yeah, this map is just not that great, so we're probably gonna warp out of here. Or just take a door, see if we get a better one here. This map's okay if we go this direction. Okay, we got lucky here with Kaibyo. Cutscene. For this one, you can just hold space, X, and tab. You can do the second option on every dialogue box here. Except for the last one, you want to do space and Z. Space or Z. So that was the cat, Saraswati scene. This is probably the best map in the game for speedruns. You see that? Like, you just come in here, the it spawns in really fast. Like there's nothing really to load other than NPCs, so there's like zero lag, and all the spawns are deeply condensed, super condensed. This is a this is the best map in the game to press F5 on and try to get a rare NPC, such as like the Cherub Orb or the Jester or whoever you need, you know. For this one, I think I just took it. I'm like, okay, let's do the Subway Warp Orb. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, see, I F5'd. Let's get something better. Yakui. She is a really good option to take there. It's like one of the best options. For this, you could press yes or no. And then this other option, you could press yes or deal. Now we have the apartment key. So we need to talk to Gomi to get the PC ASAP. This map's okay. Havros, pretty good. Talked to him for the first time. And now the next time we talk to him, he can take us to his room of useful doors. We have Havros here. For him, I don't actually have a split for him, but I just press backspace. Like I just delete his text. Same with Cherub Orb. I don't actually have a split for them. I just have them because it's like technically you don't need them for a run. Same thing with Gigaku, but they're useful. And then Purple Face Door. Hoping we get the umbrella. No umbrella, but we do get sent to the chambers. That's perfect. And now we're going to go talk to Gomi since we have the apartment key. Just skip through that. And the first option is Gomi. And then we'll need to talk to her 2 more times, I believe. Yeah, we need 2 more. Oh, it's paused. Yeah, sorry for my dog in the back. Yeah. Again, bad map, so let's just get out of there as soon as possible, and then try to get these Gomi interactions out of the way. Anything here? No, there was Virus. See, Virus is someone who spawns here, or Konpi. I just call her Virus, but yeah, you know who it is. But yeah, so that's what we're doing here. It's talking to a Gomi. I'm actually going to be right back though. Okay, so this was really fast, so you kind of missed it, but you can just hold tab for that to buffer through that dialogue. This map's okay. We're gonna check over here. Oh, I'll actually take this. Oh wait, yeah. So yeah, Amelia and Penny's pretty good. These are all completely random. Talk to Gomi and yeah, looks good. Work the pennies. The penguin. Back to this map. Not good for speedruns, so we're gonna get out of there ASAP. And then we're gonna go talk to Gomi one last time. Again, we saw I just saw Virus right there again. Talk to Gomi and click the last dialogue option there. On combat, she'll actually ask you what aid you want, defense or offense, and you choose accordingly. or just hold down tab to get through it quick. Pretty instant fast spawn of Dementia here. Very good. And we have the PC, so all we need to do is talk to Virus, then we can talk to Visine again. Get the floppy disk. This map's okay, actually, for spawns. You just have to like know the layout. But generally, you kind of want to go this way. At least this is what I do. I think I missed a couple spawns. Like, I didn't know the map as well at this point, but it's a decent little map. You don't really see anything, so we're just like, okay, we'll just take the door. Sometimes I'll just do that, just gamble. And the smaller ghost girl, she always takes you to the angelic room. And we're gonna go ahead and do the Mel door here. The first Mel sleeping scene. We'll just skip through that. And then, what are we gonna do after this? Probably the blue room, yeah. Again, a better option would have been to go through the Visine, like, staircase room, so we can try to get the virus, get for the PC. But we didn't know that we could do that back then, back last year in October. So this is like the second best option essentially. However, the intestines door would have been good too. And again, now we're going to do the next Mel door, first nightmare. Skip through those. Back into the blue room. Tidana. We don't have a card box yet, so that was a mistake. We need the card box. And there's nothing, so we'll just go through the door again. Do the last, or not the last, the second nightmare. What do? We go to the angelic room. What are we doing here? It's been a while, so I need to like refresh my memory. Oh, we're going to the subway to get the card box. Sure, that's a decent option. On Pacifist, you also need to talk to Solaire. You need to talk to Solaire for the 8-ball. So card box or Cardman and Solaire once. See, Solaire gives you the 8-ball actually, if you didn't know. On Pacifist. Didn't mean to open that. And yeah. And here it does not matter if you win or lose. Although ideally you'd want to do a draw. Doing a draw actually saves you a few seconds, because it would just end right back there instead of having that like small cutscene of whatever. Okay, so don't see much here, but this is a good option here. Very, very good. Virus. Actually though, probably would have been better is going with Amelia here, because you can just get Virus in the Visine room, or at least there's a high chance of it. The Amelia questline is known to kill main ending runs, because there's no map that I know of that she spawns on consistently. Oh, whoops. But Virus does have the Visine map. So we're going to skip through all this. And now we just need to talk to Visine. This map kind of sucks, but I do like checking these 2 spots at least, and then warping out. Now I assume we're gonna go talk to Visine. Yeah, it's a good option there. And we have taken care of the virus, so she gives us the floppy disk. And now talking to her will give us some better warp options, as mentioned before. You know, we can go to Ori, we can go to Esme Mary, and Kat and Jomon now. So I believe that's probably what we're gonna do. Oh, okay, no, never mind. We're doing our own thing here. Take a subway orb, subway warp orb. That's useful because we still have to go to the subway one more time. After we talk to Himiko twice, we need to go to the subway one last time. And we'll do this. Nightmare, last nightmare. And actually, since we turned to the right, when we enter the door, we will actually be facing the exact direction that we need to after this cutscene. We can just hold W. Now we're going to talk to Visine. Probably the first thing we'll do is talk to Himiko. The first time you talk to her after getting the floppy disk, she has... I missed it, but there's only 5 options, and they're pretty basic options. Nothing special. And we do have positive karma, so Himiko talks to us, and we can mark that off the list. This map's okay. It has a special door in it. A very unique door. This one right here. Take a warp orb though. But yeah, that one door takes you to a very specific one-time cutscene. Only on that one map. I believe the NPC you see is named Cleo. I could be wrong though, I might be wrong. See, there's the virus again in this map. This time it'll be the options with paper and performer. And now Visine's warp options are on a 3-part cycle. It'll be this list, and we'll see what the other ones are. For this, you can buffer, you press tab for this first option. The second option, you want to press space or Z. If you do the second option, you lose a point of karma, which technically doesn't matter now. After we've talked to Himiko, we don't need karma anymore. But I just like to do it, just to be nice. And Sal, again, is a common spawning NPC on this map, so definitely talk to Sal. Get some more warps. I really don't like this map, but there's a few spawns that you can see right here. Didn't see anything, so let's get out of there. Okay, I was wondering when we were going to do this. Since we did the True Angel, since we've talked to True Angel, now we can do the Intestines door, which always spawns right here. Oh, there's Esme, so definitely talk to her first instead. This map is good. Visine. See, so the last time we had paper and performer as our options. Now a special option is Doctor, who is actually useless. This is the name of his. That's the name of the NPC, is useless. he takes you to a doctor. Oh. This map is useless. It only has one door, one random door. Or one, I mean, it's a door that takes you to a random map. But it's just not worth ever going to, unless you don't have, like, any other option. It's the fake angelic room. And let's try that again. Let's try the intestines once more. Just making sure this time. So yeah, you just want to press space here. Or, you know, skip that dialogue. And now we have the intestines. And so you need the intestines actually to talk to Useless the third time and so on. That's why there's a heart here. It's supposed to be like an organ. But yeah, that intestines door now will permanently take you to Mel's Great Chamber, the one we just went in, which is useful for combat mode. Very useful for combat mode. Has very minimal use in Pacifist. On combat mode, you can farm warp orbs using that door. Again, we're going to keep going through here to talk to Visine. And this is the third list of NPCs that we get with Visine. We get a clay figure now, a drunkard, and a doctor. So obviously we know the doctor is useless, and the drunkard is actually the cat. Okay, Kaibyo. And the clay figure is Jomon, which we only need to talk to twice, but still useful. We go ahead and talk to the drunkard because we're getting close to where we need to talk to these NPCs so that we can continue these. And that one is skip through that and get out of there. This map's average. A good map for the bad ending or all endings. Here we talk to Gigaku, which is useful for travel, for warping. When you talk to him the third time, he's useful. This map's decent. It's a little laggy to F5 on, but we do it anyways because there's good spawns on it. There is Taidana. Now we have the card box, so we'll play some cards. Let's get through that. Not a fan of this map. It's not really a good map, I don't think, but get lucky with a close Esme spawn. Again, a lot of this run is pretty freaking lucky. And don't expect RNG to be so good. Trust me. You will encounter a lot of bad RNG speedrunning this game. And it might make you go a little insane. I definitely felt like I was going insane sometimes, you know, while running this game. But anyways, the next Visine interaction, paper or performer. I think we would probably go with paper. Is that what we should have done? Let's see. We have 4 interactions for each left. Again, I don't know why we went with paper. We should definitely have done Mary. Actually, no. I don't know. I really don't know why we did paper, but because we didn't have the knowledge that you can get Mary and Esme in the Visine room. But anyways, don't worry about it. This second dialogue option reduces your karma by 1. Just a heads up. if you call Chio pretentious. I like this map. It's pretty good. We keep seeing virus everywhere. Himiko door and umbrella door. Still no umbrella girl. But we get lucky with the warp here. Actually, because we did the wine vessel cutscene with the purple face door, is actually a 2 out of 3 chance now that it takes you to Mel's Grey Chamber. Interestingly. Also, we did talk to Ori again. And what do we do here? We talk to Visine. We go talk to the doctor, I think. No reaction. But that's just what we need. This map is okay. You just go this way and hope you get something. We'll take a regular door and see where it leads us. And that's not a good map. It's below average. Go ahead and take the blue room again. Still no umbrella, so we don't need to talk to the sun yet. We get lucky with the cat. So now we need to talk to Jomon. This map is okay. It's similar to one we saw earlier. But you just go this way and just see what you get. Nothing, so we're gonna go ahead and gamble here. So this map actually used to be really good, but now it's kind of ass. So there's this one lamp here you can interact with that teleports you to a better map, a more condensed map. But the devs changed the enemy spawn, the NPC spawn behavior, and made it so that map is just not really that good anymore. It used to be like one of the best maps though in the game. We get lucky here with Chio. With Chio here, don't say no I've not. If you say this, then you just keep repeating this dialogue with her. So you want to press one of these options. And then I think these next two don't matter, but I always pick the first option. And then Saren, this girl, you don't need on pacifist mode, but on combat you need to talk to her once, and then once more after going to the subway the 3rd time. But it's not useful for pacifist. And we get the gray door that takes you to the subway. There's 2 gray doors, 2 gray face doors. One takes you to the subway, the other one takes you to the Mel Nightmare and Spyglass things. But we don't need to go to the subway right now, so we're just going to leave there. Also, now that we've seen that subway cutscene, that gray face door now has a shadow underneath it, indicating that it's going to take you to the subway. I don't really know why we F5'd here. It's not really a good map to F5 on because it's kind of laggy. And it didn't pay off either, so we'll just warp out of there. Again, we're getting low on flower warp orbs, so it would be useful to go to the Visine room and try to get a Sal spawn going. But we don't have that information at this time, so we're just gonna go ahead and do the blue room. Luckily, you get a warp orb here. Nothing good, so we just go ahead and take the gray door. And this last one has no nightmare. This time we'll go to Visine. Visine Room is like a really, really good map to go to. That or like the Angelic Room or the Blue Room. From here, we need to talk to the clay figure. Let's see if I do that. No, we talked to the drunkard. Did we already talk to Jomon and I skipped it or something? No. Yeah, this was a mistake. This was actually a mistake because you see he said, I'll get what I owe you soon. Kat wouldn't talk to us because we hadn't talked to Jomon yet. So this run actually had a mistake in it. I haven't watched this in forever, so I'm kind of just going, you know, just seeing it as we go. But yeah, that was a mistake for sure. Definitely need to talk to the clay figure, Jomon. But we really screwed up there. I was probably like screaming at my monitor. I was probably really disappointed. Yep. Have a sip of coffee. Paper performer. We should probably do performer. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I think paper is probably the better option with the knowledge we have of the Visine's room spawning. This one, I believe you can press any of the options, but you can also just hold tab to buffer through it. So that's what I do. This map sucks. Definitely want to get out of here. Sometimes you'll get lucky though with those few spawns. See, you gotta check, you know, you just gotta check. You never know what you're gonna get. Also, I'm curious if got a reply yet. No, not yet. We're probably not gonna get a reply anytime soon. That's why I'm kind of just making this video, kind of just putting it out there. Again, talk to Visine, and we will talk. We'll probably do Comforting Soul. Yeah. Now we'll have a cutscene here. I don't think it matters what you say for this one, but I like to listen. And then just press up and press I have no questions as fast as possible. I made a mistake there. It's a small mistake, but yeah. Talk to Himiko. Go and gamble on this. Actually, it's not really a gamble, but like it's a gamble with the knowledge we have. I'm not sure which side the shadow would spawn on here. And but if we really cared, we could like walk to the side of it and like point our head down and see if it has a shadow. If it has a shadow, then it would take us to the subway, but it clearly did not have a shadow. So we got lucky, and we're seeing this long cutscene. You get a little break here. You can like take a sip of a drink or something if you're thirsty while playing. But yeah, so you can skip that. You know, there's a little bit of dialogue after that, so keep holding space and X. This map again. Nothing. That's our last flower warp orb. So, curious what we're gonna do here, but probably talk to Visine. Then we talk to the clay figure this time. And this is interesting. This is just a quirk with this NPC. So he's gonna ask if you want to play a card game, which is what's listed on this, you know. You can play the card game, or you can just press no. You can hold tab and hit no, and it counts. So yeah, you don't need to play with a card game with that guy, but yeah. I see Himiko over there, but we're not ready to talk to Himiko yet because we have to go to the subway first. So we take the gamble on her. She does not take us to the angelic room. And we're going to see what else we can find. Again, that's the Zweihander box. You need the hand drill for. What kind of door is that? Regular door. Okay, we don't need that. We're probably going to F5 because this is a good map. It's definitely an above average map for speedruns. Can check around the fence. You see a carver over there. We don't need to talk to him. More useless NPCs. Surprised we didn't F5 there again, but instead we took the cherub orb and just warped out. I probably would have F5'd again, but yeah, either way, we can take the subway now. You want to talk to Himiko here, hold down tab, second option, and then just talk to her again. Hit ready. For this, again, hold down tab. Second option. And now we have the subway Himiko out of the way, and we need to find Himiko again. Wait, we did get Chio, right? Yeah. This map is a little laggy, but it does have good spawns, so sometimes it's worth to F5 on. Especially if you have a faster PC. Nowadays, I probably wouldn't F5 more than once here. Maybe I would, but I would probably just cherub warp out because I get frustrated with the lag and stuff. But luckily, we get lucky with Dementia here, so we're finished with his quest line. This map's okay, but take the gamble again, and finally, the third time she takes us to. The third time is when we get lucky. Takes us to the angelic room, and so we just go ahead and talk to do the gray face door and continue the spyglass questline, or sundial questline, I should say. Time to leave, and then you click on the door. But yeah. This map is huge. It's not worth going through, to be honest. Just try to get out of it if you can. Again, this map is decent, but let's get out of there. Too laggy. This map, you kind of just want to go over here. There's a lot of spawns down this hallway. I maybe would have F5'd or just taken the door. Yeah, they're both decent options, both reasonable options. Get lucky here with Mary. This map I really don't like. I don't think it's very good. You can check there's a few spawns. There's 1, 2 areas. Okay, I would have looked a little more than that. Get lucky with Chio. And she's scary. This map's decent. Just come over here and there's a lot more spawns. There's an island right there. Like, there's a guy on that island. This is impossible to access. This guy. So sometimes you'll see a very useful NPC there, and you won't be able to get to them, and you'll be like, oh, what the fuck? It just be like that. So we talked to Gigaku. Next time we talk to him now, he'll actually be able to teleport us to the angelic room, which is pretty cool. He's sometimes useful. We get pretty lucky with Sal. 5 more warp orbs. This damn map again. What are we gonna do here? Probably Visine. We need to talk to the cat again. Okay, I'm surprised we did that. I guess we were just kind of I guess the reasoning behind going here is because of this. There's a slim chance we get the cat. Yeah, that was just pretty fucking lucky. Pretty damn lucky. Because I believe we'd have to talk to Visine like 2 more times in order to get this. But by getting very lucky, we were able to skip talking to Visine like that. And if the cat hadn't spawned in that room, then we still would have been able to get this one, this door. So it was, going in the blue room was an okay bet. Gray door. There must have been a shadow on the floor because I didn't see it. Took us to the subway. We didn't need that. This map is decent. You just need to know the layout, and then you get a decent amount of spawns. I'm not sure what we do here, or what we did here. Yeah, generally just follow that route, and yeah, or you can just exit. I mean, fuck it. And yeah, we take the blue room apparently. Again, we still don't have the umbrella, so we finally got it. That was like the 5th attempt or something. So this is important to interact with the food stand here, and you get a flower warp orb. Pretty easy to miss. This is important not to press tab right here. If you press tab, it like soft locks the game. You have to press F5 and reset. Just a very small note. But yeah, so we got the umbrella. That's pretty good. That guy's useful for the good ending and all endings. And I call this the main ending, but a lot of people call it I think most people call it the tower ending. I just call it the main ending so that if people haven't played the game before or beaten the game, I don't want to like spoil the game, you know, by giving hints. Tower ending, mine and Hantu ending, and like Jofiel ending. I would rather just do main, good, and bad, just so it's pretty obscure. It's like harder to like spoil anything. That's my reasoning. Paper performer, I go ahead and do performer. This map is pretty big, a little bit too big, so just kind of want to exit if you can. We'll talk to the doctor. Interact with her. Get through that. And yeah, we were able to do this cutscene because we had the intestines. Otherwise, he'll keep just giving you no reaction. Okay, something I should note here, it's not that important, but it's just kind of like a fun fact. So first of all, you saw me, I interacted with the ladder, and then I like turned while it's loading in. You can do that, and it keeps you facing that direction. Also, going up or down a ladder actually creates an autosave. So now when I load the autosave, I'll be up here, and all the NPCs will be the exact same on every reload. It's very, very like niche when that is useful, but it is useful if you're farming Yakitori on combat mode. You can go to the rusted room, and like if you see a box or Jomon, you can go through a rusted door that teleports you to the same part of the map, and it creates an autosave, and then you can keep like reloading until you get the Yakitori out of the box or from Jomon. Again, Sal in the Visine room, very good. This map's okay. I actually have I actually hand drew a map of this map, so I know where all the NPC spawns are, just off the top of my head now especially. But we didn't find anything, so we're out. Go through Visine door again. And we'll talk to the drunkard again. Honestly, we probably should have done the doctor. I don't think this was the good option, but it's, yeah, that's what I did. I think doctor would have been a better option though there. Because this door, well, just because there's like way more after the doctor. Whereas the cat only has that last one, we could have just probably found the cat on its own. But I digress. And then the last, sadly, the last Ori interaction. And we've got the paper doll. This map's good. Some NPCs actually don't spawn here from what I know, as far as I know. Probably F5 that, yeah. This is before I really knew that, but you can still get a lot of NPCs here. A large variety, so it's a good map to spawn on, or to respawn on, because, you know, it loads in fast, and the NPCs are right in front of you. And clearly we got lucky that time with Sal. And we get lucky again. I do remember this now. It's coming back to me. Got really, really good Sal luck. We're like, okay, we have a lot of warp orbs now, so. If you have flower warp orbs, generally you should just use them. Like, just use them ASAP. And we don't need paper anymore, so we still need someone lazy, and we still need the last performer interaction. So that's what we're doing. I hold tab through this because it's easy, and I think it's the fastest way. But yeah, we get the artichoke, and here we get lucky with Amelia. Very lucky. Quick cutscene to Amelia and Mary. Back to the subway again. This map is not that great, so we'll just get out of there. We have 14 warp orbs. Yeah, just use those. I think from here, like, let's see. From here, we're pretty solid. The only RNG that we have is the sun and Lyssa and Toshi. Everything else we can get with flower warp orbs. So like we're pretty set now. Honestly, we could probably just fast forward through a lot of this because it's just kind of what we need. That was Lyssa, and she didn't. This was the wrong Lyssa. If she's the right one, she'll ask if you want to go to like a large corporation, which will. It's this interaction. Lyssa, time. Time is the clock on the wall you interact with. From here, I think we do Comforting Soul, yeah. You can just hold tab through those dialogues, and this last one you press space. And now we'll be going through her flower doors. We spawned in on this map, so we're like, okay, we'll take that door ASAP. Spyglass Berry. And like, I call it Spyglass, but really it's Chaturanga. It's spelled like this. That's how it's spelled. That's that girl's name, the Spyglass girl. I just call her Spyglass because it just fits in the document, and that's just what I've always called it. And we get lucky here with Havros. Havros is super useful for the good ending because of this guy. You need to talk to him a bunch. He spawns in here. And we're going to do Spyglass a bunch now. Because now that we finished up with the cat and Jomon, now these are unlocked and we can go through these. Otherwise we can't access this one. We can't access those. But now we can, so it's easy. Talk to Saren. Save a flower warp orb by talking to her. And continue her quest line there. And here we're going to go to the angelic room to go through the Himiko door. For this first option, you just want to press space. The second one, you press the last option, press up and then space. But yeah, Lilith, we've talked to her now. This map I've had reoccurring dreams on. Like I've dreamed being in that map a couple times. Just a fun fact for you. And here we're going to see if we can get lucky before doing the Spyglass. And we do get lucky by seeing Saren. And I think we're going to talk to her again. No, we're not. We're going to go here. Himiko door. Unfortunately, the last time we'll see Himiko, pretty much. Probably should just warp out of here ASAP. I don't know why I haven't warped yet, but I got lucky. I got lucky. It paid off. Talk to the doc. For that one, you want to press the last option there. And then you hold tab to these other two dialog boxes. Just to buffer the input. Yeah, should just get out of there. Angelic room, we'll talk to this door here. So this is interesting, okay? Something I need to talk about. On the spreadsheet, you have Mel and then the gold rose door. So if you do this dark flower door, if you do this, it's called the Himiko door, it's what I call it. If you do the Himiko door outside of the angelic room, then you'll see a cutscene of Mel on the beach. Okay. and then the gold rose door unlocks, or the blue asphodel door. However, if you just interact with this door inside the angelic room, for some reason it'll say it's locked, but it'll count as though you did Mel on the Beach, the Mel on the Beach door. So the quickest way to do that obviously is go to the angelic room, see the door is locked, and then this door is unlocked. Otherwise, this door will be locked. Also, don't click on the Himiko door twice. If you do it twice, after it's locked, then you'll have to sit through sort of a long line of dialogue of Himiko in the afterlife, or the afterlife, whatever. But yeah, so just do exactly that, if you remember. Again, flower warp out of there. Probably go talk to Solaire. So you need to see this scene with Solaire before you can get the 8-ball. You need to talk to Lilith, though. After Himiko dies, you need to talk to Lilith. On combat mode, it's different. You need to talk to her 3 times and then kill Lilim. But on pacifist, you only need to talk to her once. And of course, she keeps spawning. She spawns always in the Rusted Realm. So probably what we're going to do now is talk to Solaire, get warped to the Rusted Realm, talk to Lilith, and then talk to Solaire again. But actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to go here instead. And now there's a 50-50 chance that Lyssa here will say bother someone else, or she'll take you to the large corporation. Clearly we get unlucky there that time. But it's okay because we still have a reason to be in that room, and it's to see the spyglass girl. So it's all good. This map is awful, or it's I don't like it, and I think the spawns are not that good on it either, so generally you should try to get out of there ASAP. This time we're going to go to Solaire, and then go to the Rusted Realm, or the Rusted Halls. And instead of talking to Lilith, we decide to talk to Tidana. I chose doing that probably just to save time instead of walking all the way across the room. Nothing here, so let's go home. And now I think we'll try the Rusted Realm again. This time we'll talk to Lilith. Oh no, this time we'll talk to we'll do the Yuria door there. It's the same door as the Iron Maiden. I chose this because we have these 2 options, right? Yuria or Lilith. Lilith, if you see her in the wild in a random map, it's going to be Lilith. However, if you see a rusted door, there's like a 1 in 4 chance, or like I think like a 1 in 4 chance that it's not going to be the door you need. So, but this specific rusted door always is going to be hanging Yuria at this point in the quest. So that was my reasoning there. And you can hold tab during this. You can press any of these dialogue options, but tab, you get to buffer it. This map's not great, so we're probably going to warp out or find Gigaku here, Go to the Angelic Room. Now we'll try the Rusted Realm again. And we talk to her. I'm not really sure what the fastest dialogue is here, but I just press space through these. I've done it. I knew what they were before, but I forget what they are now. It's been too long. We're in this room again, actually. And we actually decide to go through this painting. On the other side of the wall, you can actually see the painting, but it's faster if you just go through the back side, just because it's closer. But it's the one that takes you to the Golden Church. We need to go here twice. After getting the Golden Rose. Well, you can talk to this guy once, just anytime. But when you talk to him the second time, you have to have the Gold Rose, which we do already have. So yeah. And we get lucky here this time. Large corporation resides in the process world. You want to go here, click on the clock, and get through that. Now we just need to find Toshi. This map's okay. A bit laggy, but it's okay. There's some NPC spawns, and I don't really see what I need, so I'm probably going to warp out of here. I should warp out of here by now, to be honest, but taking my chances, going this way, and it's a bad gamble. And we'll go to the Golden Church again, just get it out of the way. For this time, for this dialogue, you could just press the first option, but it's actually slower. You want to press tab or press the second option, say find take it, and then ask for it back, you know, and the dialogue is way shorter. You save a few seconds or a couple seconds. So yeah, just press the second option there. And of course now we have the odd figurine. And again, the only RNG we need now is the sun and the toy car from Toshi. But we are looking pretty good. Like, this is... Oh, and look, we find the sun. And you can tell it's the right sun because he's gleaming. He's illuminated. He has a light source on him. When he has a light source, that's the sun you need. And then you get this cutscene and you obtain the sun. So now we only need one more NPC, and he's right in front of us. I forgot about this. We got crazy. This is like the best RNG we could have gotten here. Literally best case scenario possible. Toshi right next to us. Now everything else is completely up to how fast we can get through it. You know, completely up to how fast we can warp. And if we get lucky, a little bit after. But we should warp here immediately. I don't know what we're doing. What are you doing? I have no idea what I'm doing here. But yeah, the rest of this is just completely up to our own skill, essentially. We need to talk to the doctor and Taidana. Or as I call her, Anna. But yeah. You just spam through this, just press space and Z. Press tab for the second option here, and then space. Or, yeah, just, yep. We actually get this map twice in this run, that's crazy. This is like the best map. Am I gonna actually try to fish for a good spawn here? I guess I will. I don't think we needed these, did we? I feel like I had enough. I think I... Actually, maybe I did need that. So it happened to be perfect that we got it. So yeah, we're just finishing this up. Finishing this up now. Dock, Visine, Spyglass, and then Spyglass Sundial. We obtain the sundial. Someone lazy. Someone lazy is Tidana or Anna. I mean, we can really just skip through this. Like, this is essentially just pretty standard. We get the hand drill, and there's going to be 2 dialogue options here. You can just hold tab through them. Just hold tab. So now we just need 2 more Anna interactions and Solaire. We got pretty lucky with that last Sal. We really lucked out. Someone lazy. There's Mel. And now we're just trying to get through this as fast as possible. Destroying our previous PB on this run. I'd never tried to beat this time because it's a really freaking good time. And then I believe I actually messed up. I thought I could have sworn that I had the 8-ball, but I didn't. I didn't have it yet. I'm pretty sure I tried to go through the door. What? I'm like, wait, what? What? Oh, I'm missing the 8-ball. Oh, shit. Whoops. And yeah, so there we got the 8-ball, and go to Mel's grade chamber, and we're done. And that's basically the main ending. You can press any of those options, you could press tab to skip through that faster. But yeah, the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. Lagging our way through this. But yeah, we got the 8-ball, and that's it. You know, that's it. And then what is this? How long does this take? Like a minute and a half? How long does it take? However long it takes, but yeah, so we can just skip through this. You ever just watch Disillusion cutscenes in very fast pace? It actually makes them look crazy. But yeah, and then time ends now when you get to the title screen. I used to stop the time right when the credits showed up, but we decided it's just better to do it right here. 1:16:58, pretty crazy time. Anyways, so that is Disillusion ST main ending pacifist mode. I'm willing to help explain anything further. Ah, shit, okay. 26 minutes ago. Well, okay, so with this knowledge, I can probably explain a little bit talking about combat right now. So let me just open that up. Any percent main ending. Ah, crap. Hold on. Let me just pause this. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet for combat mode main ending. There is some very slight differences. One being that Solaire is completely optional. Obviously, she's good to travel around with if you need her, but she's over here in this corner along with these guys because these are optional, you know. Whereas on Pacifist, she is necessary. Is that going to show me everything? I think that's everything, right? Oh no, we're missing Jomon right here, but essentially this is the same thing. But so yeah, this is the difference here. And then we also have an extra Himiko door here. Right here there's only 3, right here there's 4. The reason for that is this 4th one makes it so Himiko's aid, which normally heals you for what, like 50 HP or 100 HP? I forget how much HP she heals, but normally it just heals you, but after you do this cutscene, it actually makes it so she does like 20 damage to all enemies, which is a really good aid. Yeah, I guess this video is just gonna go into like overtime, just because of the fact that I need to explain now combat mode, and I'd rather just keep this in the same video. Fuck it, let's just do it live. So also, like I explained earlier, you do need Saren. Saren is another completely RNG dependent NPC. The first time you could just talk to her anytime. This second time you need to have done this cutscene. Subway Himiko. See, you talk to Taidana in the subway and take that subway ride, and then you can talk to Saren. And she's like, I found this this mysterious thing, and he's willing to, give me a secret power or whatever. It's a cutscene, okay? And then, of course, instead of Lilith just being the one interaction on pacifist mode, on combat, you need to interact with her 3 times. The 3rd time, she gives you the Mark of Lilith, which, of course, spawns evil Lilith, or Lilim, right? And, yeah, is that... What else is there difference? Something I will say with evil Lilith is she does consistently spawn on, there's like 5 or 6 maps, maybe 7, that she spawns on 100% of the time, but after a certain update, they made it so that I think she can spawn on like any map. I'm pretty sure she can. So you don't have to worry about that as much, but yeah, give me a minute here. Let me pull up some screenshots. Okay, so I found a few screenshots here. These are maps that that evil Lilith or Lilim spawns on, guaranteed. This map, this dark one. This is not the map with the intestines door. It's just a random, really dark map. This one here with like these like maze-like corridors and these little like golden lamps. She spawns in like, I believe like you just go down the hall, right? And then she spawns here as well. I blurred this out just to prevent spoilers for this person I was replying to, but yeah, she spawns in, I believe, 2 of these snowy maps actually. And I believe there's a few other maps she guaranteed spawns on, but essentially just, look for these, and then there's also a chance that she just spawns randomly on random maps. But anyways, let's see, what else? Also, there's like a bug when you kill Lilith, that like she doesn't actually like she doesn't actually die. Like after you kill Lilith, you go talk to Lyssa in the angelic room or wherever you find her. But from my experience, there's like a 50% chance that like Lilith doesn't actually get, like the death doesn't actually trigger the end cutscene for whatever reason. So you might have to kill her multiple times. It's just a bug in the game, but yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think of like some other combat mode specific tips here, but I can't really think of that many. But I should at least show you how to farm warp orbs, since that is a staple. That is like it's kind of the meta on combat mode, right? So this is just my main ending combat mode version 1.5 record. I did a couple months ago. I just did this very quickly, just to have a run out there for version 1.5. This time is very beatable. You know, it's not the best time, it's not the worst, but I didn't put that much effort into it, so it's definitely beatable. Okay, and I like I said, I just kind of did it really quick. But anyways, so enemies, right? You generally want to try to avoid fighting enemies, to be honest. They're usually too much of a time waster and like not worth it, and too big of a risk. Okay. And of course, on combat mode, Sal only gives you the 5 warp orbs one time, so he's not useful to farm or anything like that. Visine gives you some pretty good aid bells. They do like 6 damage to every NPC, or to every enemy. So those are pretty good. You want to talk to Jomon, obviously, if you see him, because there's a chance that he gives you a special sword. Obviously, all the chests, all the boxes in the game work, whereas on Pacifist, like half of the boxes aren't active because they're combat mode only. So definitely open every chest you see, or at least most chests. Especially if you're still using the basic blade, like get rid of the basic blade, you know, try to get something better than the basic blade, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say here. Basic blade sucks. There's like literally some enemies that you cannot kill with the basic blade no matter how many times you hit them. So there's that. So it seems, yes, so here let's see what we got going on here, okay? So here in this part of the speedrun, we are getting the intestines in this specific map. So we get the intestines, and now that door is open, and that's really important on combat mode. That door is really, really important, okay? So we're F5ing this map because it's a good map. We get our warp orb, and we can warp back to Mel's Grey Chamber. Damn, this is laggy. Also, something with this game is I like to have Task Manager open while playing on my second monitor, because the game tends to rack up a ton of memory or RAM, and like as you play, especially if you're F5ing on maps, the memory will start ramping up, like it'll start adding up, and the game gets more laggy as you play. So I like to have Task Manager open, and when it hits like 2,000 megabytes or like 2 gigs of RAM, I'll usually just like literally Alt F4 the game to reset the memory and then get it going again. So here I'm doing something that is like kind of weird, but it's pretty useful. I'm using all aids, like using all aid bells that hit all enemies in order to equal up to 30 damage. So I'm racking up 30 all damage. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, get those. And this is after I've got the intestines. I'm going into this painting. On the other side of the wall, there's the painting, but going into this painting. And let me just put that higher. Or maybe, I think it's lagging. We can't really see it very well. It's like, looks like ass. But we're basically walking through this map, and there's 6 enemies. You have to have 30 all damage active. And as you encounter the enemies, they'll start dying. The cute thing was slain. Mine and Hantu slain. Sickly woman. Distressing thing. Speed this up. Second mine and Hantu, and in the corner of the map over here is the mech. Okay, we've killed all 6 enemies. And then we're gonna go back through the intestines door. This rusted door over here now takes us to Mel's Grey Chamber. Facing that wall, we can just hold back and go back into the painting. The all damage is still active, and now, for some reason, since we've walked around the room and killed all the enemies once, when we re-enter this room, it'll instantly kill all the enemies that we've killed. We still have the damage activated. We'll go back in the door, and we're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to keep doing this to farm flower warp orbs for as many as we think we need, essentially. This is like a big reason why I don't really like doing combat mode anymore. Well, I've kind of retired from speedrunning this game in general. Unless someone beats one of my... If someone beats one of my times, then I'll go back and try to beat it. But as of now, I'm kind of like on hiatus from the game. But I really didn't like combat mode because of having to do this. I mean, you're having to sit here and do this for like 10 minutes sometimes, and it's just really boring. And I think there's only like a 25% chance or something like that to get the flower warp orbs. Let me see. I recorded like my stats on what I got before. So out of a ton of out of a lot of enemy drops, this was like my results, okay? Right here. Out of the warp orbs that I got, these were the warp orbs that I ended up with. So you're mostly going to get subway warp orbs, sometimes city, and a little less than half the time flower warp orbs. But that's only when it actually says you got a warp orb. It's usually going to say card, and then out of the cards, these are the cards you get. I haven't released any of this data. I haven't like really added all this data up, but this is like what I got and sort of my rates. And these were my rates out of some of the when you get aid bells from Jomon or chests. These were the aids that I ended up with. But I didn't do that many, so this is not like super accurate or anything. And also, when you get 2 cards, it always gives you Greyhound and Peasant. But anyways, yeah, these are like, that's like that. Those are those rates. So it's pretty low, maybe like 20% chance you get a flower warp orb or less. Something like that. I forget what it was, but yeah. Also, I guess I should show something else. As for, let's see, as for like what you get out of an aid bell chest, usually you'll get an aid bell, but there's also a chance you get swords, right? Or yakitori. There's like, what is this? Frick, hold on. This is sort of what I ended up with, essentially. It's like a 77% chance you get an aid bell, 7.5% for rust. For magic sword, magic blade, and long sword, you get 3.5% chance and 5% chance you get yakitori. Out of 1,000 runs, this was essentially what I got. I changed these numbers by like a tiny bit, but like this is essentially the drop rate for that. And yeah, so just a little FYI. Maybe a little too much information right now. I hope I'm not overloading you with information, but I'm trying to just do as much as I can in one video. Anyways, we're still here, like, farming warp orbs. You see, we checked our inventory, and instead of just the 1 we had, now we have 6. And 7 subway and 2 city warp orbs. But essentially, this is what you have to do to farm warp orbs. Instead of talking to Sal on combat, you talk to, or you do this. And of course, you can't do this on pacifist, so this is just a combat mode only thing, and yeah, this is just what you got to do. And sometimes you'll have to go back and do it again. And when you do it again, you do have to use aid bells again in order to get the damage up. So here I'm doing it again, using a bunch of aid bells to get the damage back to 30. But yeah, so that's basically all I have. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can add me on Discord if you want. My Discord is just Apple's Gosh. It's on my speedrun profile, speedrun.com profile. But yeah, I guess something also, I'm sure you've seen this by now, but Anik has this progress tracker. It's like a sort of a little checklist to track your progress. It's not perfect, but it is useful. And it's pretty simple. You don't have to do this whole thing. If you want, I can send you these files so you can open them in OpenOffice, LibreOffice, Calc. Or you could just make your own spreadsheet or use Annex, or nothing. You could just not use anything at all. That's totally up to you. You know, you can do whatever you want. But I'm here if you need help. I love Disillusion, and yeah, that's basically all I have to say, I think. So yeah, let me know what you think. Sorry this video is so damn long, but I don't know. I just yep.